Well, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Adipose, and this is Journey on the PS3. This is a playthrough that I have been wanting to do for quite a long time,
as this is a truly unique game and unique experience.
I have played through this game before. This is not going to be a blind playthrough, but I am going to be trying to explain certain bits or talking about certain theories that represent certain sections of the game, but also just reacting to it, as it has now been a good year and a bit since I have played it. Because this game is so much about the experience, I won't be talking over all of it, and there may be periods where I just completely let the game kind of speak for itself. So let's get started. The video is going to be uploaded in 720p, so I do recommend that you watch this on the highest resolution you possibly can, as this sand is absolutely gorgeous. A huge amount of work has gone into this game, both visually and audibly. So if you've got headphones or a good sound system, I'll try and upload this in a decent sound resolution, to give you as good an experience as I can in terms of what we're actually hearing here as well. And here we are. An unnamed character beginning his journey. Now, aside from the symbols that appear on the screen and the online message which currently appears, there is almost no dialogue in Journey. It's done purely through visuals and kind of interpretation and pictures on the walls and things like that. But in many ways the game just speaks for itself. I know this sounds silly, but just looking at that guy run around in the sand, it just looks so real. Leaving a little trail, like we can actually, if I stop walking, we can actually see the figure of 8 that I have walked in, which is fantastic, and the way the light is reflecting off the sand there is truly glorious. Now, one of the things the game's designers tried to do very much so is to not give you an arrow, but just kind of let the player find their own way. And one of the ways that works so well is that effectively I could walk off in any direction here, but they try and give you just kind of like 1 or 2 objects to aim for, and in this particular case it's going to be these objects at the top of the hill. And there is our destination, the mountain. Now, much of the game's theme is done on the cello. I was reading about a lot of the main themes are played by that beautiful low stringed instrument, and one of the real advantage of the cello over some other stringed instruments is the fact that it can go very low, and actually surprisingly can go very high on some of its higher strings. But the warmth of it is a brilliant choice for Journey's main theme. Now, we've got these objects here. They could be gravestones, they could be markers, but whatever they are, there's a lot of them. As I slide down the sand there, did you notice as I climbed the hill that he starts off by running, but he struggles as he got higher, and his pace slowed down. The patterns on my cloak, by the way, shows that I have been through the game before. In fact, I went through the game once, like I said, a year and a bit ago, and then my wife, the lovely TheAdiposeTV, has also been through. But I would not describe myself in any way, shape or form as an expert, and I am more than looking forward to getting bowled over by this game again. The wreckage of a building. Something used to be here probably a long time ago, but then the sand has reclaimed it. And now I have my scarf and the ability to fly. The cloth will re-energize you, and then you jump and you lose the energy, and then the cloth re-energizes you. Now, one of the theories that have been around this game is that the cloth is an energy source. And that this civilization, whatever has remained, was powered by this particular energy source. And these little bits of these scraps of cloth that remain are the remnants of this civilization, and where there perhaps would have been lots of kind of cloth everywhere powering us up, there's now only these remaining now. What are these? If they're gravestones, whose graves are they? Are they the graves of the civilization that once lived here in this? Are they other people that took the journey like me but didn't quite make it? Whatever they are, there are a lot of them. We will head down there in a minute, but let's just go and have a look at this slightly smaller building out on the right. When your cloth isn't powered, you can't jump. That little hop there was automatic. But you have to be powered up if you want to be able to jump over things. The first of our images. Now, this picture probably giving evidence towards the suggestion that they are gravestones. It would appear that we have a fallen figure. If you look at the pattern on my cloak compared to the pattern on what appears to be a figure that has fallen over. Could that be a dead person next to, or a dead journeyer next to one of those gravestones? Possibly. Or am I a person from a descendant of the civilization that no longer exists? Perhaps. Let's take advantage of the sand and hopefully have a little slide. We'll head over towards this lightly coloured symbol here. If you look though, there's more cloths that are trapped inside that the tower that I'm currently standing on, which I think is one of the reasons why people have suggested that that is the that it's a power source of some kind, because why would you trap them otherwise? In fact, there's more in here. We'll climb up this central tower. And again, we have more cloths. And by singing, we can activate them, and they are free. Fantastic. By walking next to them, that seems to have activated the next area. Now the area we have just... oh, let's watch this first. Now, who is this figure? He looks similar to you, but he looks different to you. And he sings to you. Some people have suggested maybe a deity, some people have suggested maybe an ancestor, but we'll be talking about these theories. Now, could that be the power source? Could this be the design on the cloths? Could that be that the power source came to people creating plants? Could this be an agricultural community, perhaps? Could this be the civilization that came before? Could this be the civilization discovering the cloths, and the cloths leading them to greater and bigger things? Now, a bit of trivia for you: the gate noise actually comes from God of War. Has the same sound designer worked on both games, as far as I can tell from reading about it, and it's actually the same sound effect modified. Now, these 5 buildings here, maybe more, 6 buildings here, are actually shortcuts to other parts of the level, other parts of the game. And once you have completed the journey, you can use those doors to shortcut yourself forward and backwards to complete certain additional tasks. And kind of what I'm planning to do here is to just play through, and as I come across things, to respond naturally, and then maybe if people are interested at the end, I'll go back and find things that I missed, just like I did in my Bioshock series. So I'm definitely not going to make this playthrough me searching for every single collectible there is, but we can always go back and grab more stuff if we need to. And again, we see more remnants of the civilization that was. A huge bridge once would have stood all the way across here, going from this side to the other side, and in the distance, of course, we can see the mountain. And our little journeyer showing an ability to do forward rolls and also to glide in mid-air. I wish I was that light. This is one of the cloths we saw earlier. Let's try and sing to it. Oh, something's happening. Oh, we've got some friends. And we've got a little buddy. Now, this guy being dressed all in white means he has completed this journey many times, and he is a human. He is a real person from somewhere around. And we won't find out his name until we complete the game, and it's deliberately that way. The only thing we can do is sing to each other. We can't say hi or bye or insult each other, and we're not in competition, but we are in collaboration. And the game's designers went through many different ways of kind of setting up this multiplayer aspects. They were determined that this wasn't going to be a game that involved competition and defeating opponents. And there was initially a sequence with a dragon where you had to oh, this guy's helpfully taking us towards all the collectibles, which is very nice of him. There was initially a sequence with a dragon where you had to kind of help other people get past the dragon, but the players said that it actually became too easy to do it, to just do it for your own ends, and not help the other person. So they took that sequence out. I'm just merrily following this guy along on my little journey here. But the other nice thing that encourages the cooperation here is the fact that we well, I'm going through the sandstorm. Whoa, what have we got here?
Sometimes when it's quiet, I can still hear the monkeys.
Beautiful picture of the city that once was. And it sounds like our little buddy has activated whatever this is. Oh, I haven't quite got the strength to get up there. I wonder if... There we are. As I accidentally take out the sand dune with me. Journey was supposed to have the, well, as the designers wanted it to show, the best in human behaviour, helping and supporting each other, not and which is just what this guy's doing here, or girl, whoever it is around the world, just merrily taking me to all the places in the game. And up come the cloths. Reforming the bridge from long, long ago. Of course, it's possible that the bridge always was cloth. There's a fascinating article, which I'll be talking about quite a lot through this playthrough, about how all the different noises were created and just how much time and energy was put into making these sounds. Even these little song sounds we're making to each other aren't random. It isn't like there's a collection of 8 different sounds and it makes random ones. It changes depending on the situation and what you've just done, and whether happy things or sad things are occurring. But I think we can say we have successfully created our way forward to the mountain. So let's give him a little thank you. I guess we slide down to the beginning of the track. Now we do keep powering up each other's scarves, which means if we travel together, we can more or less fly, which is fantastic. Try and get the camera behind me here. And the cloth powers us as we sing our way into the sky. Now these three sections here, I believe, symbolise the those energy pieces that we picked up, the white glowing, what kind of look like almost like Chinese writing. And now we get a better look at our mysterious figure. He's certainly a lot bigger than us, and the implication is more powerful than us, related to the destination of the journey. But not entirely friendly, perhaps. So our civilization continues to grow. Instead of growing plants, they now make towers and buildings. With the flying cloths in the air, the civilizations create a train? A monorail? And far from simple towers, we get these big, complex, glowing structures. And I guess that's where we're heading now, as the sand parts. Now I think the length of your scarf is dependent on how many times you played through the game, how many bonuses you picked up, and the fact that I can actually walk through this guy's scarf shows that he must have played this game a lot, or her. He has got a truly epic scarf. Now, of course, if either of us quit out of this game, we will not be able to journey with each other. Any further, because I don't know who this person is. So the incentive to continue with your partner is very, very strong. The mountain is larger, we're closer. And if you saw that shooting star coming out of the mountain, there is one of the suggestions from the game is that we are the shooting star, or in some ways related to the shooting star, or the whole game kind of has a cycle of birth and rebirth about it, that we'll obviously be talking about a bit later. But for people that complete the journey, seems to kind of set off that star in some way. Oh, and there's a hidden structure in the sand. Just landed through it. I'll let out a little note, which will hopefully power that up, whatever it's done. It's given me a little kind of like a creature versions of the cloth. I wonder if I can kind of, because that powers me up, so I can kind of fly along it. Oh, but he's gone off, so I'm trying to follow the white glow on the edge of my screen, as I think that's my my little journeyer. These hills taking a toll on my little legs. Crumbs, these mountains, these sand mountains look like they go on forever. But it looks like we found something. We have freed even more, and this guy's actually pushing me over the mountain. Well, I guess these guys know where we're going, even if I don't. Wonder what this used to be. And a picture. The guys with their crops, the ancestors with their crops, maybe some birds flying above, perhaps. Makes you kind of think if that was one building and that building wasn't on its own, how much is kind of buried underneath this sand. And there's more. We have a little slide down the sand towards it. I guess we can try and climb that. Yes, we can. And up we come, and there we've got one of these little symbols on the top. I should give these things names, really. It's kind of like my little dog. It's like a little pet. Not the guy I'm travelling with. These little kind of flying things with us. Oh, they definitely know where they're going. I wonder if they're supposed to be alive or simply kind of responding on instinct to things. It's unclear. And another picture. Is that supposed to be them building, perhaps? They've certainly got some crops around, but it's crops and building at the same time. Oh, where's this taken me? I've been concerned with one of the reasons I kind of put off making this playthrough of Journey was I was a little bit worried that my voiceovers for it would just be me going, wow, whoa, that's cool, yeah, over and over. So I apologise if my responses aren't quite eloquent enough, but it's difficult to describe the feeling this game gives you. It's definitely an emotional experience, as Vinnie Jones might say. Is this where we came from in the first place? I'm not sure. But certainly now our little pets are taking us over the mountain. Oh, we've lost our little buddy. Let's go and recharge him. And I guess if all else fails, we head towards the mountain. Although our little chum seems to be... Whoa! That slid off! Our little chum seems to be summoning us this way. Oh, have we been there before? I'm not sure if that's the one we came from or not. What is it? Whoa, what's going on? What is going on? Oh look, there is our little... the object of this particular quest. And up we go towards the mountain, which is now looking smaller again. Wow. Looks like we're heading up to the highest point of the mountain here. This is one of the replayable things about Journey, is that depending on who you travel with, it's a different experience. I mean, you can kind of do this completely alone because no one's really interested in traveling with you, or like I'm doing here with some guy taking me all the way. Well, thank you, little fella. I think we freed him and then he pushed us up to the top of this tower. Now, some people have suggested that... oh, he's going off to the side. Some people have suggested that this is kind of more the industrial side of the civilization. So they have changed, whoever they were, they have changed from their agricultural ways to having machinery. You can hear those kind of noises now. To building towers that reach high and higher into the sky. And it looks like the next part of our journey is complete. In fact, the tower itself looks a little bit like one of those guys wearing the cloak, drifting off to the left. Our scarf is now looking a lot longer than it was at the beginning of the game. And our journey continues through even bigger towers. Almost like the Tower of Babel, if you know your biblical literature. Perhaps a society that builds a tower so high they try and reach to the sky, but the sky is always out of their reach. And from agriculture comes towers, from towers becomes a city.
And if you want to see that city, then you'll have to join me in part 2 of Let's Play Journey on TheAdiposeTV. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, then do give the video a like. If you have think the game looks great, then please support the developers by buying yourself a copy. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well for more Let's Plays, tutorials and mod videos and stuff. Thanks for watching. Take care. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.